Oh my god, bro. We got a 12-minute video. When cats break the rules of nature. See a dog about to get his hit by a cat. Let's see what's going on, bro. Or not. Right? Happy cat, happy dog, okay?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Is this entire video just this? Because if it is, we'll skip.
Sometimes all it takes is one picture going viral to completely shatter everything we thought we knew about the world. This is one of those pictures. So the story goes, a mother tiger in California tragically lost her cubs to premature labor.
Bro, I can't lie. I like his story times. He always goes straight into it. I fuck with that show.
The loss left her so depressed that she would barely move and wouldn't eat at all. Worried for her well-being, zookeepers took 5 baby pigs, wrapped them in tiger skin, and like only a true mother would, the tiger
Papa Pig.
Hey man, you still watching this far into the video? That means you messing with me or what I'm saying. You might as well subscribe. I know you want to.
Sorry, that was
her sight. It was your typical Disney feel-good story that warmed the hearts of anyone who saw it. Now, here's where you have a choice. I can let you keep believing that story and just leave you with the happy ending, in which case you should probably click off this video, drink water, hug your mother, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. For the rest of y'all going red pill, just remember, you chose this.
I'm awakening. You feel me? Let's just say that. I'm awakening.
% real, no Photoshop, no filter. This happened. The story I just told you behind it was completely made up. First of all, this wasn't even taken in California. It was 8,000 miles away in one of the biggest tiger hubs in the world, the Sriracha Zoo in Pattaya, Thailand. This isn't a wholesome story about a tiger taking the role of swine surrogate. It's actually one of the most unhinged experiments you've never heard of. You see, this zoo wanted to know if they could successfully rewire the nature of a tiger, and they did that by having one be raised by a pig. Yeah, they basically decided to play God with a giga-sized Garfield. I mean, this was back in 2004, but it was also 11 years after months old. The whole point was to see if being raised by a pork product could make an apex predator less of a life risk and more docile. And from the pictures and videos, it would seem like it worked. Until it didn't. It would take years, but eventually several claims would come out. You know, claims of animal mistreatment, exploitation, and straight up abuse. Basically, it ended up being one of those places guys would go to take a selfie with a tiger to put on Tinder. Short, if Tiger King would have came out in 2004, Joe Exotic would have been Bangkoking in Thailand. There was even an incident where 23 tigers flat.
Ooh. That's okay. That's a good take.
Kamunyak was a lioness living in the Samburu Reserve in Kenya who would become
some people just need to let niggas be niggas. You know, let tigers be tigers.
Famous worldwide in 2002 for violating the #1 rule of being a lion.
Here's one thing you need to do
before
you start your
young, as in not older than a week old, oryx calf. She didn't turn the calf into calories, instead she acted as his bodyguard, following it around everywhere and even defending it from other animals attempting to meal prep it. The lioness had adopted something that any other day would have just been protein, and this time humans had nothing to do with it. Tourists would flock in from all over to witness this disrespect to the natural order, and even after seeing it with their own eyes, they still didn't believe it. On around aimlessly instead of
make a movie into this. Like, excuse me?
Staying hidden in one place the way an actual lion cub would. So
we need a Bambi 2.0.
More than 2 weeks these two were together, she just didn't eat. I can only imagine what the other lions thought. This was basically like a man walking into an orphanage and then leaving with a Big Mac in a stroller. Like that time SpongeBob had an entire relationship arc with something he grills for a living. It's just one of those things like Mandy smiling or EDP foster momming a cupcake and not eating it. It just breaks the natural order. Prey is where rules get broken. It's something you'd expect from Disney, and like in Disney, it probably started from a family member getting murked. Kamunyak apparently had cubs of her own, and a violent dispute in the pride meant she lost him, likely to a new rival.
It's funny because I never thought. I mean, of course I know, but it's like it's weird to think about animals. You know, like having the same emotional reactions as us.
And with as young as she was, this was likely her first litter. And after losing them so brutally and hormones still running high, she probably didn't know what else to do.
This is probably how it feels like to be a white supremacist and thinking black people are subhuman. Huh?
So
that was probably a lot.
Possible that the calf imprinting on the lioness caused a motherly instinct to override to turn you into takeout and smoke you like a Marlboro instinct.
I'm gonna keep this in here, but like I hope nobody watches this far.
At least that's just my guess, because no one thought to ask the lioness what was going through her head. And this might have been her first time, but this wouldn't be her only. This would happen not once, not twice, not even a hat trick, but Kamunyak the lioness would adopt 6 different oryx calves. Also, I feel like I should just mention at this point she was going out of her way to follow her just so she could steal any unattended minors. And it wasn't like she just didn't realize that these weren't lions signs because oftentimes she would let the newborn calf nurse from its actual mother before running her off. And in case you're curious about what happened to the rest of her foster kids, the second one was intercepted by park rangers and taken to an animal orphanage in Nairobi. The third calf actually returned to its mother, and during a nursing session pieced out with the rest of its herd, even with Kamunyak chasing after them to get her baby back. Same thing happened with the fourth with the—
That is so weird, bro. This is basically like a kidnapper. Like, you know when mothers lose their child. I'm sure this has happened before, but like, let's say a mother loses her child, they goes to like a hospital and goes to the baby making section. I'm sorry, not baby making, the baby section where they hold the children in this in the spot to wait for their parents to come back. I'm not even sure if they still do that shit. Just takes the baby and leaves. It's kind of like that.
The mother oryx managing to reunite with her baby. And I can only imagine this made her learn her lesson in the worst way possible, because she didn't let the fifth calf return to its mother, and the end game was the calf going into a permacoma due to starvation, which Kamunyak would respond to by eating the soul evacuated body. And adoption number 6 went like 3 and 4, with the kidnapped calf hightailing it back to its biomom. And remember, she would go on a hunger strike for the entire time she was looking after each one. And I'd love to tell you that this story ends with Kamunyak finally getting an actual family of her own, except she was last sighted in 2004 and no one's been able to find her since. So, if this was a movie, it'd be Lion King's troubled teenage cousin. And it's not the only—
There's something up with that fucking with that lion, bro.
Every time this kind of thing would happen. In 2015, a film crew was focused on a herd of wildebeest, along with one lioness stalking them from the grasses. Fun fact, lions will often spawn wipe their prey by attacking the ones that have just given birth. So when the lioness made her move and the mother wildebeest dipped, it looked like it was about to be a revolving door for the baby right back to the gulag. Except that's not what happened. The apex predator hesitated on what would have probably been her easiest meal in months. And the literal minutes-old wildebeest started nuzzling up to the huge cat, as if the same lion that wasn't finna take him off this world was the one that brought him in. And I don't know if it was that famous new baby smell, or if the fetus not showing any fear factory reset the lion's software, but not only did she spare him, after a little while she left, and the still wet from the womb wildebeest calf reunited with its
That's crazy, bro.
mother. And unlike with Kamunyak, this lioness was 100% trying to catch a body, but something made her stop, and I have no idea why. At least with a calf, it's probably too young to know to run away and just saw the lion as a warm body. But an animal—
And now guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a bunch of scientists trying to figure out, bro.
deciding to pretty much pardon something it's eaten hundreds of it in
Don't get me wrong, I don't hate scientists. I want to be a scientist one day. That's one of my dreams. I want to be able to like know more. Yeah, of course, who doesn't want to know more? I want to be a scientist one day.
Videos on YouTube of lions life-depriving pregnant animals, pulling the fetus out and eating both alive. Or I guess technically only one of them's alive. I guess there is a chance the lioness was trying to use the baby as bait to murk its bigger and more fulfilling mother. And some articles think it's their version of playing with their food, like a cat and mouse kind of thing. But like, that still doesn't explain how a cat that can eat 15 pounds of meat a day would lose interest in free calories that fast. And the stories just keep coming. In fact, just last kid, and he knows it. Not only
so we get what's happening. I'm not wasting any more time. I'm sorry, but we understand what's happening. Sometimes animals act differently when in weird situations. Yada 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 yada. I understand. Just like how I act differently around women on this point. But you gotta realize good shit. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.